Hi guys, welcome back for another episode of Gaming with My Dart Swinger. In this episode, I go over getting started and working your way through the Sidewinder to your next ship. The first time you log into Elite Dangerous and load into the Galaxy, you'll be in a Sidewinder docked at a station much like this one, Trevethic Dock in the LHS 3447 star system. This part of the game can be very intimidating. You're not provided with any instructions on what to do now. The truth is, it's all up to you. That's what this video is about, giving you some guidance to get going strong. If you've jumped right into solo, multiplayer, or private group mode without getting any flight time, now's the time to stop, slow down, and exit to your main menu to do the tutorials before continuing on in the Galaxy. Let's get you started with the tutorials. If you're in your ship at a station, press your escape key to access the pause menus. If you're at the menus anyway and have not loaded into a ship, you can skip this step. Once there, use the mouse to click Save and Exit to Main Menu and click Yes when asked. Next, you'll click on Training. Once here, you want to perform Target Practice, Basic Combat, Skirmish, Sidewinder Face-Off, Wolfpack Tactics, Launch, Docking, and Travel Tutorials. The Supply Strike and Incursion tutorials are advanced level combat training and aren't necessarily needed to get started in the game, but the experience in those tutorials could come in handy later. You can come back and do the tutorials anytime that you want. Repeat each tutorial until you feel comfortable with it. Doing this will ensure that your basic flight skills are up to traveling the Galaxy and most anything that might entail. Once you've completed the tutorials and are comfortable performing those tasks, you're ready to get your start in the Galaxy. As a note, the Sidewinder that I'm in isn't stock. I upgraded a few items on the ship to make my trip from the Meskinga system where I was at to the Trevethic Dock faster. Unfortunately, I was unable to return everything to stock when I got here due to parts availability. These upgraded parts are gimbaled pulse lasers, the power plant, thrusters, life support, power distributor, and sensors. The differences between this and a stock Sidewinder won't be major, since the upgrades are minor. However, there is an increased power level which won't be really noticed in a stock ship. The ship will be a bit faster and maneuver a bit better in standard cruise, will be able to sustain your life for a little bit longer after suffering a canopy breach, and will be able to detect other ships from a bit further out. The gimbaled pulse lasers provide easier aiming with reduced damage output over the stock fixed pulse lasers. For the purpose of this guide, however, the upgraded gear won't make much of a difference in earnings. When you first start out, you're going to want to look for cargo missions, data courier runs, and light warzone combat. To find these missions, go to your starport services, then go to your bulletin board. Here, you'll find the missions available to you at this station. These can be basic cargo runs, data courier missions, salvage missions, find and return missions, warzone missions, bounty hunting missions, assassination missions, or even piracy missions. When you're first starting out though, take only the previously mentioned basic cargo runs, data courier missions, and warzone missions. Unfortunately, at this point, there's not many missions available, and I'm not looking to do either of the ones that are. Since the bulletin board updates periodically, I'll come back when I find a satisfactory mission. Okay, it took me a while, but I finally found one that I'm willing to take. It's a data courier mission, which doesn't take any cargo on your ship. Open the mission to read its details, including what you're carrying and where it's going to. Upon opening this mission, we see that it's to Ackerman Market in Aravat. I'm going to go ahead and accept this mission and lock the destination using the navigation panel. Since this mission doesn't take any cargo, we can learn another skill to increase the profit of your data courier missions, and that's trading. To trade, you will buy a set of commodities at your current station and sell them at your destination station. While I'm landing at Ackerman Market, I need to apologize to you. I didn't notice that there wasn't a commodities market at Trevithick Dock, so I was unable to show you how to find commodities to trade. Unfortunately, many of the smaller stations don't have a commodities market or many other features that the larger stations do. On that note, it's a good idea to move on from the smaller stations as quick as you can. You may not be able to avoid going to them, but you can at least minimize your time there. If there's nothing to get you out of there, just check your navigation menu for other stations in the system you can check out and make your trip more worth your time. Now that we've landed, there's another thing that I should have mentioned earlier, and that's my credit balance. When you start, you're only going to start with about 1,000 credits. If you look at my balance, you can see that I have 1,102,929 credits. Since my balance is at that level, we'll make 1,101,929 credits my zero balance. I did not spend any credits at Trevithick Dock, so I'm still at my starting credits. With that out of the way, let's refuel the ship and turn in the mission. Once the mission has been turned in, you can see that I caused civil unrest and lockdowns locally, but increased my reputation with the faction that gave me the documents to deliver. Now that that mission is complete, we can look for another mission and possibly do some trading. With the previous mission complete and the ship ready to go, we can look for new missions. In this case, we can see that there's another data courier mission available. Let's check it out and see what it is. This time, it's taking us to Hartsfield Plant in the Portreaty system. We'll accept this and check the bulletin board again for any other missions going to Hartsfield Plant in Portreaty. Back on the bulletin board, we can see that there's another data courier mission going to Portreaty. Let's check our previous mission again to ensure that we know where we're going. Then, we'll open up the new one to see if it's going to Hartsfield Plant like the first. We see that it is, so we can accept this one to get a few more credits out of this run. And since there's a commodities market here, we can buy some goods to sell when we get to Hartsfield Plant. Let's check out how to find what goods to buy. Now we go to our web browser to open up our trading tools. The first is Threads Elite Dangerous Tools, which we won't be using for this trip. The second, and the one we'll be using, is Elite Dangerous Database. I'll link the addresses to both of these tools in the video description. To use Elite Dangerous Database for this type of trip, go to Single Hop Route. You'll then input the system that you're in. In this case, the system is Erevat. Next, you'll input the station you're at. In this case, we put Ackerman Market. Then, we'll put in the system and station we're going to. For us, it's the Portreaty system, and Hartsfield Plant is the station. The last thing we do before we search is to ensure that our cargo and credit balance is correct. When that's correct, we click Find Route, and it'll give us the most profitable goods for us to buy here and sell at Hartsfield Plant. Now that we know that the most profitable commodity for us to buy is grain, we go back to the game and go to the commodities market. Here, we'll scroll down until we see grain, and then we'll select it and buy 4 cargo units of it. Now that we have our missions and our cargo holdings full, we can lock on to Portreaty and prepare for launch. Here we are at Hartsfield Plant to turn in our missions and sell our cargo. First, let's refuel our ship so we don't forget and fly away later without any fuel. Once refueled, we can turn in both missions. With the missions turned in, we now go to the commodities market to sell our 4 cargo units of grain. After all the credits have been paid and earned, we come out with 2,174 credits on top of the starting 1,000 credits. Not bad for 2 short jumps the first time out in a Sidewinder. If you can find it and do well in it, combat will be more profitable until you can get a ship with more cargo space. Even if you do find combat preferable, you may need to do some of these basic missions to ensure you don't ever have to pay to fly your ship from combat zone to combat zone. With cargo missions, data carrying missions, and trading, you can ensure that you're always getting paid at least what you'd be spending in fuel. Generally though, you'll make more than your fuel costs. Even armed with this knowledge, it will be a slow start to earning credits. However, you'll learn what you like to do and gain experience in different fields to ensure you always have a way of making credits, regardless of what missions are available. You'll also gain experience in escaping interdiction and or interdicting others if you choose to try bounty hunting or piracy. Getting that experience in a Sidewinder, which you can replace for free without upgrades, or for a small fee with upgrades, is invaluable. Once you start getting into those larger ships that will make you more credits, you also start running into higher ship replacement costs. So learn those skills while it's cheap to make mistakes. I hope that this short guide helps to give you some direction in the galaxy so you're not running around trying to figure out what you need to do next. And don't forget, if you guys like this video, give it the old thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks for watching.